My name is Amara. 3 days after I gave birth to my daughter, my husband looked at her tiny face, and then he looked at me. I want a DNA test, he said. I was still in the hospital bed. I was still holding her. My body was tired. My heart was breaking. I did not scream. I did not cry in front of him. I just looked at my daughter's face and I made a decision that would change both of our lives forever. This is a story about trust, about silence, and about a woman who chose peace instead of revenge. Chapter 1. The question. Her name is Layla. My daughter. She was born on a Tuesday morning after 14 hours of labor. When the nurse placed her in my arms, I forgot every pain in my body. I only saw her small face, her tiny fingers, her closed eyes. I looked up at my husband, Daniel. I expected to see joy. Instead, I saw something else. Something careful. Something cold. He touched her cheek gently. Then he stepped back. She doesn't look like me, he said quietly. I laughed, because I thought he was joking. New babies often look different at first. Everybody knows this. But Daniel did not laugh with me. 2 days later, in a hospital room full of flowers and cards from our families, my husband asked me for a DNA test. I felt the whole world go silent. Chapter 2. The silence I chose. I want to explain something important. I never cheated on Daniel. Not once, not for 1 second, in the 4 years we had been married. But in that moment, explaining myself felt impossible. My throat was tight. My hands were shaking. I had just given birth, my body was exhausted, and now my heart was exhausted too. So I did not argue. I did not cry. I simply said, okay. Daniel looked surprised. Maybe he expected anger. Maybe he expected tears. Instead, I gave him calm. That night, alone with Layla in the quiet hospital room, I made a promise to myself. I would not beg for his trust. Trust is not something you beg for. If he needed proof, I would give him proof. But I would never again ask him to believe in me. Belief either exists, or it doesn't. Chapter 3. 2 weeks of waiting. The DNA test takes time. 2 long weeks. During those 2 weeks, Daniel tried to act normal. He held Layla. He fed her at night. He smiled for photos we sent to family. But something between us had changed, and we both knew it. I stopped waiting for him to apologize. I stopped explaining myself to his mother, who called every day with careful questions. I stopped feeling smaller every time Daniel looked at our daughter with doubt in his eyes. Instead, I focused on Layla. I focused on healing my body. I focused on being a good mother, regardless of what test results would say, because I already knew the truth. A friend asked me, "Aren't you angry?" I was angry. Deeply angry. But anger, I learned, is not the same as revenge. I did not want to destroy Daniel. I wanted him to understand, clearly, and forever what his doubt had cost us. Chapter 4. The envelope. The results arrived on a Thursday afternoon. A small envelope, ordinary and quiet, holding something that would decide the rest of our marriage. Daniel's hands trembled as he opened it. I stood in the kitchen, holding Layla, watching his face. He read the paper. Then he read it again. "She's mine," he whispered. "She's really mine." He looked up at me, and for the first time in 3 weeks, his eyes were full of relief and shame. "Amara, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I doubted." "I know why," I said quietly. "Your cousin told you lies about me at the hospital." I heard him. I heard everything. Daniel's face went pale. "You should have trusted me," I continued, "not because the test proves it. You should have trusted me because you know me." Chapter 5. What Daniel didn't know. Here is something Daniel never learned, not until much later. While we waited those 2 weeks, I had already decided what I would do, whatever the results said. If the test had somehow gone against me, through some cruel mistake, I had already contacted a lawyer. I already knew my rights. I already understood that no woman should stay silent while someone questions her honesty without any real proof. But I never told Daniel this. Not out of cruelty. Out of quiet strength. Because the real lesson was never about the DNA test. The real lesson was, I did not need Daniel's belief to know my own truth. I only needed myself. When the results confirmed what I already knew, I did not celebrate loudly. I did not say, "I told you so." I simply held my daughter closer, and I let my calm answer everything his doubt had asked. Chapter 6. Rebuilding, quietly. We are still married. I want to be honest about that, because some people expect me to have left him immediately. I did not leave. But I did change. I stopped needing Daniel's approval for every small thing. I returned to my job earlier than planned, not because we needed money, but because I needed to remember who I was, a woman, not only a wife who had to prove herself. Daniel apologized many times, in many ways. He cut ties with the cousin who had spread lies. He went, quietly, to speak with a counselor about his own insecurities, something he had never done before Layla was born. Slowly, very slowly, we rebuilt trust. Real trust. Not trust based on paperwork, but trust based on time, patience, and honesty. Chapter 7. The answer I give now. Layla is 3 years old now. She has Daniel's exact laugh, and my exact stubbornness, a stubbornness, I think, that saved our family during those 2 silent weeks. People still ask me, "How could you forgive him?" I tell them the truth. I did not forgive him for doubting me. I forgave him for being human, for being afraid, for making a painful mistake in a painful moment. But I never forgot the lesson those 2 weeks taught me. A DNA test can prove who a child's father is. It cannot prove who deserves your trust. That, I learned, only silence and time can truly show you. Thank you for learning English with this story. See you in the next English listening practice. Please subscribe to watch more story on Learn All About English.